What is up, YouTube? Gonna be bringing you another guide. Gonna get back into this, I promise. My goal is to have a bunch of these guides going up every day, not just one god guide a day, so we can get through all, like 80 gods, however many million gods there are now. We're doing Dodgy today because this is a brand new god. People are super confused about her. On PTS, she was pretty bad. She had some bugs, which made it even harder to really get a grasp of what this god was gonna do, where she was gonna stand, if she was gonna be middle of the pack, overpowered, underpowered, whatever. As of right now, I'll tell you she's probably pretty average overall. Her mid game is insane. She is similar-ish to a Loki that has a way to escape when you're ult up. I say that because mid game you kind of one shot. You're like an earlier in the game Loki, but early game and late game it's kind of sketchy and kind of iffy. I'm going to go right into abilities before we go into the actual way you build the god, just because I feel like most people don't understand. So first of all, your passive, pretty straightforward. Your auto attacks cause bleeding. Your two auto attacks, not your two auto attacks, however many attacks you get in 2 seconds will stack up and cause bleeding. They scaled it up a little bit. It does 7 per tick plus 10% of your physical power. It's actually a lot of bleeding. Super underrated. Very, very underrated. People want to see big numbers instead of these dot ticks, which are really strong when you pair it with Bluestone and the one that we're going to get into and everything else. It's a lot of damage. So your 1 is simply you proc it. It's similar to Arachne's 1, except for it'll be on forever, really. So you pop it, cooldown doesn't start until you actually use the auto attack onto somebody. And simply you auto attack someone, you get a burst of damage, and you get a dot tick that ticks 3 times. Simple as that. Very, very good. The thing people don't realize is it is an auto attack cancel, meaning you can auto really fast. So you can auto attack, hit your 1 instantly, and you'll auto again, proccing this. That's a lot of freaking damage. It's a lot of damage, I promise you. Your 2, you are immune to slows, right? Yeah, immune to slows. Behind you, you take less damage. So anything hitting you from behind the god takes less damage. And you have increased speed. You do an AoE kind of damagey thing, but that's the last part about it. I'm mentioning that last because that is the least important part of this ability. Everyone thought mainly because of the patch notes, they said this was what they were maxing in the dev PTS test shit. Don't max your 2. Your 2 is defensive as shit, and you need to get used to using it defensively. Do not use, obviously use it for kills or clearing the wave at level 1, which we'll get into. But overall, this ability, mid, late game, team fighting, all that shit, is almost always used defensively, unless you're just winning the team fight and stomping through, right? Your 3 is a dash that only goes on to targets. It can go on to gods, enemy gods, friendly gods, creeps, yours or theirs. You can go into camps in the jungle. You can go into the Gold Fury. You can go to the Fire Giant, the Portal Demon, the Titan. You can go on anything that really moves, basically. Anything that can move around the map at some point in time or move around a little bit, that is what you can jump on. Pretty much. That's the best way to think about it. It does do a lot of damage. It is 100% scaling. A lot of burst. Then you have your ultimate, which people really are the most confused about. You go up into your ultimate. You sit above people, kind of similar to like a Thor ult, but you don't go up quite as high. And you shoot these 3 chains out, similar to Ares ult. You hit the chains, you do a little bit of damage, you slow them, and then after you shoot all 3 out or you run out of time, the people who don't beads will get sucked back into this totem that you're standing on top of, and there they are right under you for you to do damage to. The thing with this is there's a lot of things that can break these chains. Geb Shield breaks the chain. They fixed it so Aegis doesn't anymore. But there are a lot of abilities and things that do break it. It's a lot more consistent and a hell of a lot better than it was on PTS. So the ultimate's actually very useful. And the idea for me is I would jump in with my 3, doing damage. I would proc my 1 after auto attacking. So 3, auto attack. 1, instant auto attack again. And then I would decide at that point, is this person low enough to kill? Am I in trouble? Do I need to get out? What do I need to do? So that's when you decide, am I popping my 2 and killing, popping my 2 and running away? Am I ulting because they're all on top of me? Because your ult makes you immune to damage. You stop taking damage once you get up top. They can't focus you. You can't target you. You can't do anything. You're up there for like 3 seconds, 2.5 seconds, something like that. And then you come down wherever you really want. Not too far away, but you come down wherever you want. That's a breakdown of the 5 abilities, right? So passive dot damage, 1 burst and dot damage. 2, think of it defensively. Does do damage in front of you, but think of it defensively. 3, think of it as damage and potential to run away or chase, whichever. Your ultimate, think of it more so as an immunity and a way to finish kills or get the fuck out of a team fight. Boom. Done. Right? You guys know the 4 abilities in the past. Now we're going to go into the God Builder real quick. We're going to go into the abilities first since we just talked about them. To clear the wave at level 1, your clear is pretty shitty, honestly. I'm going to be honest with you. The clear on this God is not that good. Your 2 is what you'll start with, simply because it's the only thing that can hit enough creeps to do any amount of clear, and you'll be safe because if they jump on you right away at level 1, you can run away with this ability very easily. Then I level up my 1 because that is your main source of damage. And this will be the ability you actually maxed out. Level your 3 for some kind of mobility, the ability to chase, the ability to fight, whatever you need to do. You can run away with this ability. Just remember you have to focus or target your teammates or the creeps to run away if you're not going to run away by jumping onto an enemy god, right? So like I said, you max the 1. We're getting the ult. Max that 1 whenever you get the chance. Then here's where things get a little bit different. I maxed the 3. So as we talked about, the 3 is 100% scaling. Very good. The ultimate does do a lot of damage if it can get the full damage off, which is really rare. It just, against anyone but the tanks, it's really rare to actually get your ult to do anything. That's why I said think of it kind of defensively as well. So I am maxing my 3 second. 1, 3, 3, 3. Boom. They're both maxed out. Now here is where you get to choose and decide. If people aren't getting beads, you can get the ultimate here because you're going to get that damage off. But overall, because there's no cooldown reduction by leveling this up, I'm maxing the 2. And I'm maxing the 2 because you take less damage from behind like we talked about. You scale up with level. So at rank 1 it's 20. At max rank it's 40% less damage. 40% less damage. That's insane. That is awesome. That is really good. So I max my 2 next. And then I max my ultimate. That is how we max all of the abilities together. Simple as that. It's what I do. It's how it goes. Very, very easy, right? Now we're going to go into the items. I do have 2 builds that I've liked, I've used, and I'm kind of in between which ones I want to use. So you're going Power Boots 100% because this god is ability-based, high scaling. I've seen some other builds where people are going like attack speed and crit, and I don't even know what the hell they're thinking. This god's ability-based with short-ass cooldowns. Your 1 is on like a 7 or 8 second cooldown. With CDR, it's on like a 4 or 5 second cooldown. It's insane. So Warrior Tabby, Hydra's Lament, go for a CDR build, and this is going to be a power one-shotty type build. Jotun's next. After that, I am picking up Heartseeker. And as you guys should know, you'll have 30% CDR at this point. You have Pen from 2 items. You have a lot of burst damage. And that Hydra's is the key. Remember I said you're going to 3 onto somebody, auto attack. 1, which auto attack cancels, so you instantly auto attack again. That's double Hydra's proc. That's your 3's damage with a Hydra's proc auto attack. And then your 1's damage with a Hydra's attack Hydra's auto attack burst. And then you also have Heartseeker hitting on that 3 when you first go in. That is a ton of damage. Now, this next item is that slot where you can do whatever you want. But because of the way Dodgy works and the 1's short cooldown, the 1 is literally on a very short cooldown, I go Crusher. Because when you proc that 1 and use it, Crusher procs its cooldown and it gets reduced by a second. That's insane. That means your 1's going to be up again in like 4 seconds. Basically instantly. You could actually 3, 1, 2, 1. All in that time. Like the whole time you could just be using abilities and auto attacking. It's pretty nutty. I like this build. It's really, really fun. Does a lot of damage. You end the build with a Titan's Bane. Of course, as I said, this is where this item can change. It's how it is in most builds. Crusher's pretty luxury, but with this guy, I think I'll make it a point to have this item all the time. It is very, very fun with this build. 100%. Promise you. So the other build I was going and messing with is I get early Pen here. You can get the Crusher, which is what I usually end up going for. I'll end up getting the Heartseeker after that. I'll go for more power plus the little bit of sustain that you will get out of having Shifter Shield. The new Shifter Shield gives you 70 power when you are above 50% health and gives you 50 protections of each when you're below. Really, really strong. Really, really, really good. I promise you. This is just another build to think about. The reason I go Shifters late is simply because it is 70 power. It's more power than any of these other items. It's going to make up for getting the Heartseeker, which has lower power. And it's going to give you a little bit of defense because this god is kind of a jump in and potentially get shit on if you mess up when you jump in. God is a mid-game god. Mid-game, right around the mid-game, late game is when you're finishing that Shifter Shield. So it kind of, I mean, it really does make sense. It doesn't kind of make sense. It makes a lot of sense. Now I'm going to go ahead and jump into a jungle practice real quick just to show you guys the god kind of in play. Not going to edit this out because it takes 2 seconds to jump into this. Or I guess 10 seconds. So it's not a big deal. But we're going to go over, I'm going to grab the same items that we talked about in the first build. And I'm just going to kind of show you how the auto attack canceling works, why it's so strong, and what my ideal engage is in a team fight if I am the one engaging. So we'll go ahead and jump over here, grab the items that we talked about. Boom. There's Hydras. Trying to make sure I remember the build. We got that. We're getting Heartseeker next. We are getting Crusher next. And we are ending the build with a Titans mid. I won't get any other things, and we'll have beads. Sunder is very good on this god, by the way. Sunder is amazingly good on this god. Obviously, you won't have... If you go Blink, you'll have a way to engage and then possibly get out, but I don't think that's necessary. I think it's kind of pointless. And as you can see, we max the abilities the same way. So, ideally, when wave clearing at level 1, like I said, you'll run into a wave, you'll just chew it like this, and it'll die, right? So, realistically, in an engage, you won't be able to just jump in. Maybe you're getting attacked, maybe you get raw ulted. You'll jump on them with your 3. You'll auto attack. You'll 1 auto attack. I mean, he ran away a little bit. You'll 1 an auto attack. They'll get 1 shot, pretty much. And that's that. Like, obviously the damage is a little higher. I'm fucking level 5 with a bunch of items. He's level 5, but the idea is the burst is there. It is a lot of damage. So on, we'll use the Odin since we 1-shot the raw. So you'll jump in, auto attack. Hydra's procced, right? You'll 1 auto attack. Remember, your Crusher procced here, so your 1's almost off cooldown again. During this time, you can do whatever you need to do. The idea for the Crusher is in that rotation, it won't be key. But whenever you're using your 1 after that, see the cooldown on your 3? It's a 5-second cooldown. With Crusher procced, it's on a, I guess, almost 3 seconds. It's on a 4-second cooldown, but it looks like 3. Crazy build. Crazy amount of damage. The ideal engage, like I said, boom, 3, auto attack, 1, auto attack. I'm gonna do it faster in a second, show you the cancels. You can 2 around if you need to. You can take less damage if you need to. And then you can ult out and make sure you're safe. And usually I'll hit my chains and try to dash away, just to safety, let my team engage on them while I'm resetting abilities. So, 3, auto, 1 auto, boom. You just fully bursted somebody. That's an insane amount. It really is a lot of damage. I keep saying insane. It's really underrated and underestimated, the amount of damage. Obviously, if you're engaging like that, you will probably die a lot. My other active, as I said, is probably Sunder when I'm going all in, or Aegis if I think I have enough damage and I want to possibly live out of these team fights. God's going to be really rough to play. Late game, you will die a lot unless your team's stomping. It's okay. Just be used to it. Not the end of the world. Try these builds out. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Come in my stream. Ask me any questions. I have played probably 20 games on this god. I think I played on PTS. I played on PTS again. I played on live yesterday, and this is what I feel the most comfortable on. I'm sure at some point I'll throw Shifter's Shield in there just to find out where I feel it stands. The reason I don't go Shifters in this build is because I'm looking to get that pet online as soon as possible. Thank you guys for watching the video, and I will see you all in a video tonight and tomorrow.